Hi, I'm Shonda Miles. Today I want to talk to you about my greatest fear. My greatest fear has been, my entire life has been being homeless. For a lot of reasons, this has been something that I've been really worried about. And knowing what I know now, I know how unrealistic that sounds, how crazy that sounds. And two, with it being a fear, I should have been more vigilant about saving my money. And so if you let a fear control you, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I wish I had known that like 25 years ago. But knowing what I know now, because it was a fear, I should have started taking actions to, of course, I did take actions to increase my income because I didn't want to be homeless. I didn't have anywhere to go. If I couldn't pay my mortgage or pay my rent at that time, I wouldn't have a place to go. And I had 3 little kids. But knowing what I know now, if I had been saving a little bit every time I, received any type of money, I would have been, I could have secured my financial future forever. But I've done that. But I mean, I'm working to do that. But if I had known what I know now, I would have been saving just a little bit every single time I got paid. And then I also would have continued to increase it. And so even though I've made a lot of money in my life, I have not been I haven't managed it as well as I should have. And I certainly haven't saved the amount of money that I could have. So when you think about your greatest fear, we all have fears. There's no way around it. We're all afraid of something. And so whatever your fear is, you got to think about, okay, does it make sense? Is this even likely to happen? And if it's likely to happen, or you think it's, something that could possibly happen, you got to think about, what can I do to keep this from happening? What changes do I need to make? So if I had thought about the changes I need to make, of course, I did think about increasing my income. But if I had thought about, okay, if I just save $100 a month, for the rest of this year, and then next year I'll save $200 a month, and the next year $300 a month, that was when I realized that this was a real possibility for me, or could have been a possibility for me. That was, 30 years ago. And so if you just think about how much money I could have saved if I had really kind of thought about it realistically. And two, when you think about it, sometimes we think about something we're afraid of there's no way that it could happen. So when I look at it, I've done all the things. I know how to increase my income. I know how to make money. I have the degrees. I have the certifications. I have the know-how. I know how to make passive income. And so when you start stacking things in your favor, the fear lessens. But also, if you're really concerned about a fear, the best thing that you can do is take action. That's it. There's nothing you can do that's going to stop that fear from taking over you, but to take action. And then you got to kind of weigh it out. Like, does this really make sense? Is this really something that could happen? And then what can I do to keep it from happening? And what if it does happen? We don't give ourselves a fighting chance because we let a fear overtake us. We stay in silence about what it is that we're afraid of, and we don't do what we need to do to make sure that fear never, materializes. So think about today. What is your greatest fear? Is it something that could really happen? What can you do right now to ensure that it doesn't happen? And if it does, what would happen? What does that look like? And so you can kind of keep a fear at bay when you know that if it happens, you're going to be fine. And that's really all of us. If it happens, it's going to be fine. If it doesn't happen, or if it does happen too, I'm going to be prepared. So just think about, what can you do? And so don't let fear overtake you. Fear is we're thinking about false evidence appearing real. We're thinking about something that's going to happen in the future that may never happen. And so think about fear as false evidence appearing real. So more than likely it's never going to happen. But in order to kind of stack the deck in your favor, you got to be thinking about, okay, what can I do to ensure that it doesn't happen? And if it does happen, what do I need to do? What am I going to do? How will it affect me? How will it affect my family? So just think about, what your greatest fear is today. It's something we don't talk about, but I think it's so important. It's so important that we think about our fears and how we can overcome them, things that we need to do. And so the biggest thing for me is sitting down and just kind of thinking about it, weighing it out, kind of rationalizing it, and then to take action against it. That's all we can do is take action against it. If we don't do anything, it will control us. That fear will control us. And so don't let that be you.